How complicated should it be to launch a new service just to test it out? Well, in my opinion, there's a couple of different things one should consider before just launching a new instance or a container in order to test an idea out. One, I think you need to ask the question of how is this thing going to be used? And second, if it's successful, what's the long term vision of this idea that we're testing out? Today, for example, I got a request from one of my coworkers where we wanted to test out a CSV processing component powered by a third party API. And the question is who's using it? And if it's successful, are we going to productize it into the app? What does that look like? And really, what's the future of this thing? We know that this service is needed in order to be able to process this information. We need people that to view the processed information. But the question is, should we just run this locally on a developer's laptop? And the answer to that pretty quickly became no, we don't want to do that. The constraint in that case was their internet was slow. And so putting it on an actual server made sense. And then it became down to, should we invest the effort into Dockerizing it? And the answer to that was no. It doesn't make sense to do that. In fact, we just need a basic Linux machine that can run a little Python script. And when I looked at the Python script and how it was behaving, I noticed that it was horribly inefficient. It was making one API request per row in the CSV. And then the question was, should we optimize it? And the answer again here was no, we shouldn't, because there's not enough value associated with that. And so while we are in the middle of testing out this little concept here, we wanted to get this up and running just for the sake of checking the box so the rest of the team could accomplish the tasks that they need to get done. And so when you're considering launching a new service to test out an idea, consider what the purpose is for that in order to decide whether or not the juice is worth the squeeze in terms of additional effort. And sometimes you'll find, as in the case here, that you just need to get the service up and running to allow people to be unblocked to do their work. And then you can revisit the concept later once you actually have a more fine-tuned understanding of what is actually needed, and then you can optimize in the right areas. So in that case here, we got the service up and running in just a few minutes once I understood what exactly everyone needed. We didn't need to go through a whole review process. We didn't need to go through a technology architecture review. We didn't need to have product sign off on the visuals of it. No, we just needed some CSVs processed. And sometimes that's all you need to do as a DevOps engineer. But ask the right questions before you just start building a thing. And especially as us engineers tend to do, we want to dive in and optimize a thing and make it all cool and work as efficiently as possible. Sometimes, honestly, you just don't even need to do that.